Hello everybody, welcome back to the Nibiru channel. It is June 23rd, 2017. I have some pretty incredible information that has just come out, and this information is coming out through the University of Arizona, and apparently they have discovered, as they've labeled in this article, mysterious, unseen planetary mass lurking at the edge of the solar system. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about this for quite a long period of time. This article just came out earlier today, published on June 23rd, 2017, as you can see there at 10:56 a.m. The reason why I'm bringing you this information right now is for several reasons. Number one, as I mentioned, we've been talking about this for quite a long time. But number two is actually the most important. The research that was done by the two astronomers at the University of Arizona, they are now claiming that this large planetary mass, they're not referring to it as a planet or a star or an exoplanet. It just says unseen planetary mass. But the key to what they've publicized today is that this unseen planetary mass is the cause for the warping of the outer solar system. This all revolves around this object being, in the Kuiper belt, or a Kuiper belt object, possibly out there past Pluto. Now this starts to disturb all of the hypotheses of the Planet 9 with astronomer Mike Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, I personally think that the entire Planet 9 is just all disinformation. It's all meant to, push the whole entire Planet X theory right out the door. Because Planet 9 has never been seen, photographed, imaged. They don't even know where the hell it is. But according to their mathematical equations, it exists. So now these astronomers have come out, and now they're talking about this mysterious object, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it, because I'll tell you, this is pretty interesting. Now, I've had a very, very long discussion with our physicist pertaining to this, and we're going to be delving into this. There have been published papers, abstracts on this evidence, and we're going to be getting those, because we're going to be looking into this very, very deeply. But the article goes on to say a mysterious unseen planetary object with a mass somewhere between that of Mars and Earth may be lurking in the outer reaches of our solar system, according to new research. Okay, now when we're talking about mass, okay, we're not actually talking about, this object being the size of Mars or Earth. They're talking about its mass. It states that scientists at the University of Arizona's Lunar and Planetary Observatory, the LPL, put forward evidence that this unknown planetary mass object may explain why the plane of the solar system is warped in the outer reaches of the Kuiper belt. Okay, very interesting. Now, one thing that that myself and the physicist, we started immediately, taking this apart. And we started thinking, okay, well, how can a planet warp the solar system, or the outer reaches of the solar system? A planet. Wouldn't that be something like a brown dwarf star with a massive outreaching magnetic field? Not a little icy planet, not an exoplanet, a large brown dwarf star that would have the ability to perturb the orbits of other planets. Very interesting. Now we're starting to wonder if this is maybe some type of disinformation coming out again. Just like Mike Brown and Konstantin Batagin's Planet 9. You know, it really starts to make you wonder. But anyways, it states that the Kuiper Belt lies between the orbit of Neptune and hosts a vast number of minor planets, mostly small icy bodies and a few dwarf planets. All planets in our solar system orbit around the sun on the same plane, but according to the measurements made by the research team, the most distant Kuiper Belt objects, referred as KBOs, appear to be tilted away from this by 8 degrees. This indicates that something unknown is warping the average orbital plane of the outer solar system. You know, ladies and gentlemen, many years ago, the scientific research came out that was talking about the heating up of all of the planets in our solar system. All of them. And that all of their orbits had been perturbed by an object. Okay, the results of all of this, they're all out there. But yet others that make the big disclaim pertaining to Planet X, they say that's not true. But it's documented scientific evidence that it is true. And now the fact of the matter is, it seems to me that they are now beginning to make scientific excuses for what is happening. The scapegoat, if you want to say. Again, it states this indicates that something unknown is warping the average orbital plane of the outer solar system. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Do you understand how powerful the magnetic field, the magnetic force of an object would have to be to do this? It's not a planet. Just think about it. A planet warping the outer reaches of our solar system. How is that possible? Now again, we're going to be delving into this, and the doctor is going to be pulling up all of this information. She's going to be going through all of it. All of the math is there in the abstract. We have already downloaded the PDF file, and we're going to take it apart. Because immediately when this information came to me, you know, all of a sudden the bells started going off, and I'm thinking, okay, here we go again. Another Mike Brown, Konstantin Batagin, you know, Planet 9 crap story. Well, the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we know that there are hundreds and thousands and millions of objects out there. Our little solar system isn't just the only solar system that's out there. But what we're mainly concerned with is what is occurring in our inner solar system. What has come in through the Kuiper Belt over the past 35 years? Multiple objects? Probably. Brown dwarf stars, highly magnetic, with highly magnetic fields, able to distort and perturb planets and their orbits, heating these planets up. And the evidence is clearly there. I believe it was in 2005 and 2006, some of this information started coming out about Uranus and Neptune, Saturn. All of these planets have had major changes, kind of unexplained. And it seemed like a domino effect. Coming in, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter. You know, it makes me wonder whatever happened to the atmosphere of Mars. You know, Mars's atmosphere was just at one point just stripped away. Scientists say that there are signs of life that were probably on Mars. Water, ice. But it seemed that, you know, something just stripped its atmosphere completely away, making the planet uninhabitable for life. You know, so once again, we are living in the sign of the times, ladies and gentlemen. You can see everything that is happening around you. It's amazing. But it's also very scary and disturbing. And there are other disturbing factors that we're being lied to. And that there are factions out there that want you to not believe in clear evidence. They want to dumb you down. I've spoke about this before. And it's true. They don't want you to have the information. So the possibilities of leaking stories like this out there to just kind of maybe save face for tragic things that are occurring on our planet. But we're going to be ripping this apart. Just like when the whole information came out about Planet 9, and I delved into the whole theory of the Planet 9. I don't accept mathematics as proof. I don't know about you. But just because you put a bunch of fancy numbers and letters and symbols up on a chalkboard and you tell me, look at this. This proves that there is a massive object out there, and this object is what caused the sun to be tilted. We haven't photographed it. We haven't imaged it. We don't know where the hell it is. But it exists because our math proves it. Well, I'm not a fan of mathematics. I like hard, cold evidence. I want to see pictures. I want to see images. I don't want to see math. But I'm very interested in delving further and further into this information. Because now all of a sudden, they're talking about the warping of the solar system. 8 degrees. So basically what they're saying is, if any other planetary object comes near this mass, it will be tilted 8 degrees immediately. Well, that only tells me, ladies and gentlemen, that this object that they're referring to as this large mass has one hell of a magnetic field. You know, look what just happened to our magnetosphere. And the information that was produced out on YouTube by several YouTube channels, including myself, showing our magnetopause almost being completely destroyed, flattened out, massively erratic movements. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a game. And that is a very, very serious situation. Without our magnetosphere protecting our planet, we as human beings do not exist anymore. If you don't believe me, look it up. Without the protection of the magnetosphere, people and human life and living creatures and plants do not exist on Earth. What we saw on the magnetopause that was discovered by several YouTube channels that did a fantastic job of getting this information out there proves that there is something behind the Earth, off in the distance, possibly hundreds of millions of miles away, but with a magnetic field that is powerful. Powerful enough to flatten out our magnetopause and create horrible distortions and such erratic movement. If you think it's a joke, leave this channel now. Unsubscribe. Because the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we're living in the sign of the times. The evidence is there. It's staring you in the face. Me and you and everyone else, we're living it every day now. We're living it. If you don't see what's happening, you must be blind. Blind as a freaking bat. You know, I go over the earthquake information all the time. We know what's happening out there. There's no doubt about it. But one thing I don't like is that, you know, people can see what is happening and they call you a liar anyways. The only reason why they call you a liar is because they're just plain damn ignorant. But when all hell breaks loose, these will be the first people, the ones that called you a liar, told you that you were a fraud and a fake and a criminal and a fearmonger. They'll be the first ones crying like a little infant, crapping in their pants. Now, once again, I believe that yes, there are many objects out there past Pluto. KBOs, Kuiper Belt objects. But now all of a sudden, with all of our technology, on June 23rd, 2017, as all hell is breaking loose around our planet, now they want to come out and say that they have a theory. They have some evidence. They've produced an abstract paper with more math. Don't you think that we ought to be paying more closer attention to what the hell is going on with this planet? Earthquakes out of control, volcanoes all over the planet, over 30 of them in full eruption mode, climate chaos, wild weather, people dying from this wild weather every minute of the day, not being publicized in mainstream media because those people are idiots. The fact of the matter is, we've come up with a tremendous amount of evidence proving that there is definitely something wrong in our inner solar system. And it definitely revolves around, possibly, very, very highly possible, many brown dwarf stars possibly have moved in to our solar system. Ladies and gentlemen, these objects are very powerful when you start talking about their magnetic fields. You know, the planet Jupiter has a pretty strong magnetic field. You can see that clearly by, you know, how many moons that it has sucked in. They call Jupiter a failed star. Let's take a look at Saturn. Look how many moons that Saturn has. And what all of a sudden, you know, I'm seeing all of these photographs of Saturn. You know, I've looked at photographs of Saturn from 25 years ago. It looks like Saturn's tilting almost like vertically. Has something already disturbed or perturbed Saturn? What caused Neptune and Uranus to heat up? Very drastic changes have occurred on these outer planets. Let's get back into a little bit of this article. It states that the tilt angles of the orbital planes of more than 600 objects in the Kuiper belt were analyzed for this study. 600. A quote states, "We expect each of these Kuiper belt objects' orbital tilt angle to be at a different orientation, but on average, they will be pointing perpendicular to the plane determined by the Sun and the big planets," Volk says. And Volk is one of the scientists involved in this research. It goes on to further state that as the team observed the Kuiper belt objects further out, they found that the average plane actually warps away from the invariable plane. They noted that the chance of the warp being a statistical fluke was no more than 2%. 2%. Very interesting. Let's continue with this. It goes on to further state that their paper, their abstract, also ruled out the possibility that the mysterious object could be the Planet 9, the fake Planet 9, pointing out that this planet is predicted to be much bigger and much further out, Planet 9. Planet 9's existence is unconfirmed, but is expected to be located at more than 200 times Earth's distance from the Sun. Earth's distance from the Sun is 93 million miles. 1 astronomical unit times 200. You do the math. Quote from Volk, "That is too far away to influence the Kuiper belt objects." Repeat that. That is too far away to influence these Kuiper belt objects. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. To be honest with you, nobody is buying the Planet 9 crap. Nobody's buying that theory because there's no evidence of it. A mathematical equation on a freaking chalkboard? That doesn't tell me anything. You know, back 6 months ago, when I used to go head-to-head with Astronomy Live, and he would always tell me, well, check my math, check my math, check my math. Your math ain't telling me squat, buddy. And neither is Mike Brown or Konstantin Batygin giving me this crap about Planet 9. I'm sick of the disinformation. They're trying to ram it down your throat. Listen, when they came out with the Planet 9 information, no pictures, no nothing. But yet they put Mike Brown on one of the biggest nightly news shows, 60 Minutes, and they interviewed him. What are you interviewing this guy for? He has no damn evidence. He has a math problem. A math problem. But yet, people like myself and many others on YouTube that are doing hardcore research and trying to find the truth, do you see us getting a spot on 60 Minutes when we have more proof and more evidence than freaking Mike Brown and Konstantin Batygin and their stupid Planet 9 that doesn't exist. I hope you're all hearing me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all paying very close attention to what's happening. Walk outside of your house today. If you're living out in the West Coast, you're being fried. Fried. Temperatures exceeding 120 degrees. Look what's happening down in the Gulf of Mexico. I said 2 weeks ago, I said, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at the jet stream. I haven't seen anything like this in my life. I've been paying attention to weather for more than 25 years. Living in South Florida, I've gone through 13 hurricanes. I had a fascination with weather, so I learned about it. And seeing what I'm seeing with the jet streams as they become so damn erratic in the northern and southern hemisphere, I started to see weather patterns that were going to affect basically the Central American countries and pushing into the Gulf of Mexico. Very strange hurricane season coming up. Normally, ladies and gentlemen, these hurricanes, the storms, roll off of Africa. They make their way across the Atlantic Ocean. They heat up, and the next thing you know, we have a tropical depression, tropical storm, boom, hurricane. The steering patterns for these hurricanes, yeah, they could be a little erratic, but they normally follow, pretty historical patterns. I believe that we're going to see a lot of action this year coming through Central America and moving into the Gulf of Mexico. They're already being inundated down there. I feel very bad for these people. BP Earthwatch, he's been on top of this left and right, doing a fantastic job of getting his forecasts out there and warning people. But even though you warn people, the wild weather still comes. Look at our skies, man. Look at our skies. Stopped over a friend's house yesterday around 8 o'clock at night. Sat there, had a conversation, and then watched the sky start turning wild colors. And then for the first time, my good friend said to me, wow, it seems like I'm living on another planet. Look at these skies. People around the world are documenting this every minute of every day. Wild cloud formations, weird things happening up above. Oh, but it's just normal. There's nothing wrong. You're just a fearmonger. No, you're an idiot. Hey, if you don't believe the research and the time that I put in on this channel and doing what I'm doing, like I said, unsubscribe. Don't come back. But if you do, help me and the doctor get the word out. Do your part. Share these videos. Start talking about this. Point things out to people. Because the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, the powers that be don't want us to talk about it. They want us to shut the hell up and not say anything. And they want us to go down quietly, cower, in a fetal position, like a little baby and a coward. That's not going to happen. The fact of the matter is, there's a tremendous amount of evidence out there each and every day proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that our inner solar system right now is being inundated with substellar objects. You know, I was so upset looking at the Magnetosphere information that was publicized the other day. Listen, folks, it almost flattened. Well, it did flatten our Magnetosphere. Do you think that it can't be destroyed? You better think again. And without that bow shock, without that magnetosphere, you don't exist. You die. You're dead. We're all dead. I'm just so sick and tired of the idiots out there that think they know it all and they could make a stupid YouTube video debunking you with no evidence. But yet, clear as a bell, we have evidence pouring in every day, every minute of every day. And these little government agents, all they want to do is take you down and shut you up and discredit you. But they never come up with any evidence. They make their stupid little ballerina videos to try to discredit you, and that's all that they have. You know, going back a short time ago, the video that is part of this report, this is talking about Planet 9. But Planet 9 doesn't exist because it's a mathematical equation set up by two fraudulent astronomers that were probably reeled in by the government and said, hey, listen, you two, you're going to be the front men of this story. We're going to put you on top of your astronomy career. And this is the story that you're going to tell everybody, or else. That's how it goes, folks. I hope each and every one of you hear the passion in my voice and my tone. We have so many things occurring. Unbelievable things occurring. And I can guarantee you that none of you have ever seen 1/10 of the things that are occurring now in your lifetime. I haven't. I've been researching this subject now. I am going on my 15th year. I started delving into this in 1989 in college. Fell short of gaining any information because it wasn't out there. Little bits, drips and drabs. But now, with social media and the internet, and more people talking, and more people getting their cameras out, and yes, your cell phone. Ladies and gentlemen, don't listen to these other people that tell, oh, what are you going to use, your 10-cent cell phone camera? Yeah, you freaking idiot. We are going to use our 10-cent cell phones. Because cell phones are very sophisticated, and they do have a good enough camera inside of them to take a photograph immediately. And that's what we need. We need the documentation coming in from around the world. And we're going to slap everybody else that doesn't believe in this right in the face. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? We don't have to prove it to them. We only have to prove it to ourselves. There's so much disinformation coming from government factions around the world. It's very, very disturbing. Are they going to stop me and the physicist? Absolutely not. She's been very, very busy the last couple of days taking care of a lot of personal things at the university for her resignation. And then we're moving on. We're going to be moving on into some really good live streams and research, and we're going to keep on getting this information out there. Hey, whether you believe it or not, you don't have to watch. You can go watch CNN, crap news network. Yeah, all you'll see there is, you know, Donald Trump and what they're trying to do to assassinate, execute, you know, impeach and blah, blah, blah. It's so damn boring. We got bigger fish to fry, folks. We truly do. And don't think for 1 minute that professional astronomers will follow what the government tells them to do and say. Because when the government grabs you by the back of the neck and they tell you what to do, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. And some of these astronomers, they've done it. I never bought the Planet 9 theory, and I still don't. And I'm definitely not accepting the information coming out of the University of Arizona. What I think is out there is possibly another large brown dwarf star. So powerful that it has the ability to warp the outer solar system. Maybe it's temporary, as some of the information states, that this 8-degree tilt, you know, as the object moves by and further away over time, the object that was affected with the 8-degree tilt goes back. All of the talk about the pole shift. Wow. What do you think would happen if all of a sudden the Earth underwent an 8-degree tilt? Woo! Let me tell you, you wouldn't be listening to me on YouTube. I can tell you that right now. There wouldn't be no YouTube. But listen, let's go in here and let's take a listen to this interview about this Planet 9. Planet 9 in outer space. Scientists discover new celestial body on outskirts of solar system. Ha! They didn't discover anything. But yet, they portrayed it in the media. Fake news at its best. Here we go. Oh, I got to listen to an ad? Oh, God almighty. Let me mute this thing till this thing goes away. That's what it's all about, people on YouTube. Your ads. Boy, that's a big 15-second ad. We can't even skip that. Nationwide is on your side. Okay.
Today, the California Institute of Technology published a study claiming they have discovered a true ninth planet beyond Pluto. RT's Manila Chan joins me now in our Los Angeles studio. Manila, what's the deal with this new celestial body they found, and really what becomes of poor little Pluto now?
Hey there, Simone. Good to see you. So a lot of Pluto fans are justly annoyed again today because the scientists over at Caltech have come across something that is beyond the outer limits of little Pluto that they believe to be evidence of a very, very, very large planet. And by that, it's something like 5 to 10 times the size of Earth. Now, they're not entirely sure just yet because they didn't exactly discover this thing. Right now, they're dubbing it Planet 9. But what I mean by that is that they can't exactly see this thing from a telescope or anything like that. Instead, they are using data about how other objects as far out as Pluto are reacting and moving out of alignment, getting out of its way. So data like that actually suggests a heavy gravitational pull, which primarily comes from things that are qualified to be called planets. Now, that said, poor tiny little Pluto has been demoted to a dwarf planet because not only is it small in size, but it also really has no gravitational pull, or as the astronomers at Caltech say, they say that Pluto doesn't have the ability to move things out of its way, mostly as it orbits the sun. And they say that's what the new...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to stop it right there because basically all they're going to go through is a bunch of, jibber jabber on this Planet 9 crap. And that's basically what it is. It's just all crap. Now, going into this article, it does state the data does not rule out the possibility that the warp could result from more than one planetary mass object. Details of the study conducted will be published in the Astronomical Journal. Click on that link. It takes you right to that information. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at it real quick here. And I blew this up so you guys can see all of the wording real good. Just give me a second here. Okay, this is the astronomical, the University of Arizona News. University of Arizona. Okay, this is the article that they published. University of Arizona scientists and the curious case of the warped Kuiper belt. The plane of the solar system is warped in the outer reaches of the Kuiper belt, signaling the presence of an unknown Mars-to-Earth mass planetary object far beyond Pluto, according to new research from the University of Arizona. They do some good work at the University of Arizona. I've seen their university in the headlines dealing with astronomy and space quite a bit. It states here, the unknown, unseen planetary mass object may lurk in the outer reaches of our solar system, according to new research on the orbits of minor planets to be published in the Astronomical Journal. This object would be different from and much closer than the so-called Planet 9, a planet whose existence yet awaits confirmation. A planet whose existence yet awaits confirmation. But yet, let me reiterate this, but yet they put Mike Brown on 60 Minutes and gave him a whole hour talking about how he put the guillotine to Pluto and then brought out all of the information on the fake Planet 9. And there are people out there that have the audacity to tell us that we are fake with the investigations on Planet X and the evidence of a brown dwarf star, or many of them, and other planetary objects in our inner solar system are fake. But yet you put a guy, an astronomer, on 60 Minutes, and he's telling you about a Planet 9 that definitely doesn't exist because it only exists on a freaking chalkboard. Who's fake? Who is fake? You should easily be able to discern that, ladies and gentlemen. But now, they threw another monkey wrench into the pile with this type of information. We already know what is happening. Like I said, we are living in the sign of the times. Every minute of every day, every tick of the clock. I don't see anybody else coming out there with any scientific evidence to disprove what is occurring. Meteorologists around the world, they have no answers. I've looked into it. They're stumped. But I'm sure they're only stumped on the air, meaning when they're on television. But I think that their education is telling them that something is definitely wrong. And you could probably guarantee that they're all doing their own individual research, but they're not going to commit professional suicide by coming out and talking about it on the air. They'll be fired immediately. There's too much evidence out there, ladies and gentlemen, telling us that our Planet X theory is truly happening. I don't personally think, and neither does our physicist, we don't personally think that planet Earth is going to be destroyed, nor will it be impacted by, a rogue planet. But the chaos that is occurring was said to be happening at this time. Everything that I've looked into pointed to all of this. For all of you that have been following me for quite a long time, remember, going back to the winter time, in the months of December, in January, in February, I stated over and over and over again, based on the information that I was researching and I was investigating, we were going to have one hell of a springtime in the Northern Hemisphere, and the summer was going to be doubly bad. Did I lie? Did I tell any of you a mistruth? No, I did not. Look around you. You can see it with your own eyes. You don't need Scott from the Nibiru channel to show it to you, because you're living it. You're living it each and every day. People may not be dying around you, but let me tell you something. There are lives being lost every minute of the day because of what is happening. Do not be ignorant to think that it's not occurring. We're all human. We're all made of flesh and blood and bones. We all bleed the same way, except for the elite. We're going to be digging more and more into this information. And whenever I presented this information to the doctor, we went into this. We went into this immediately. That's why I have not put out any videos today on YouTube, because we were ripping this apart. Because there are things already in here that are not making sense. 99% of the people, a population around this world, really don't understand astronomy. They don't really understand magnetic fields, you know, of planets and stars and all of this astronomy stuff. And I'm still learning. Thank God I have the physicist to help out with a lot of this scientific, information, because she's as smart as a whip. But yet there are still others out there that call her a liar and a fake. But they are the ones that are ignorant. Because this lady is very intelligent, holding a doctorate and 2 master's degrees, 17 years of lecturing in physics. And she continues to study each and every day to continue to enhance her intelligence. And she has definitely enhanced mine. And she has definitely opened up my eyes to all of these possibilities, and we are looking at the evidence together. And it's overwhelming, overwhelming. I'm not buying this story of a planetary mass object. Planetary mass object. Look, why don't you just come out there and say that, okay, there's probably a very large cluster of brown dwarf stars, red dwarfs, white dwarfs, okay, that are, they're warping the outer solar system. They're warping other objects in the Kuiper Belt. Just go ahead and say it. A few months ago, I sat back and I spent 9 hours listening to a conference with a bunch of Harvard astrophysicists and astronomers and physicists and a few guest speakers from other countries talking about brown dwarfs and their discoveries. They were able to find clusters of brown dwarf stars. And then when they looked at the plate evidence 6 months later on imaging, the cluster broke up and the brown dwarfs were moving in their own directions. Other planets, not stars, planets orbiting around those brown dwarfs. An article just came out 2 months ago talking about a massive brown dwarf 55 light years away, and they were able to tell that it had ice on it. 55 light years away. Who cares about something that is 55 light years away when we have so many problems going on right now in our solar system that are affecting the planet that we live on? More disinformation out there. Well, it might not be disinformation, but I find it very impossible to see this object 55 light years away, when we're still just discovering things in our own damn solar system. But we're gonna pick this thing apart from the University of Arizona. Once again, these universities, they get funding from the government. Hell, whenever I listen to the Harvard University conference, the scientists and the astronomers said, as long as we continue to get the funding from the government and their cooperation, we will be able to continue making discoveries. Well, there you go. The government holds the key to the knowledge. So, my point is, without all of us continuing each and every day with our observations, listen, folks, we are making headwaves, much more than astronomers, with what we're seeing in the skies every single day. You know it. You're the one out there taking the photographs. You're the one out there taking the video with your so-called 10-cent camera. Well, your 10-cent camera may one day change the way the world thinks. So you keep up the good work. And don't let some ignorant individual slap you down with a rude comment. For all of you church-going people, you don't like confrontation? Listen, you folks need to stick up for yourselves too. And don't let anybody take a crap on you. You need to stand up for yourself. And hey, listen, maybe every now and then you have to get a little mean. Don't take it on the chin. One thing I don't believe in is turning the other cheek. Because when you turn the other cheek, you're going to get hit again. Now you end up with 2 black eyes instead of 1. We are definitely seeing something out there. It's too much evidence, ladies and gentlemen. Way too much evidence. I do the best that I can to open your eyes. I'm not perfect, but I do my best to help you understand what is occurring, to open up your eyes. And that's why I call it the awakening. Some of these jerk-offs, they make fun of it. But they're not going to make fun of it when all hell breaks loose and they're crapping in their pants and screaming like a little baby. And I'll be the first one to walk over there and kick them right in the head and tell them to shut the hell up and stop crying. Get up. Stand up on your own 2 feet like a grown-ass man or woman. You shot your mouth off months ago. Why aren't you shooting your mouth off now when the skies are literally falling in on us? Now, moving back into more of this article and this research. These 2 scientists, it says in the paper, Kat Volk is one of the scientists' names, and Renu Malhotra. I can't even pronounce that. Everybody has to have a difficult last name. Why can't it just be Renee Smith? Of the University of Arizona's Lunar and Planetary Laboratory, or the LPL, present compelling evidence of a yet-to-be discovered planetary body with a mass somewhere between that of Mars and Earth, Did you just read what that said? This is another Planet 9 disinformation campaign set up by another university governed by the government. Let's read this again, okay? Arizona's Lunar and Planetary Laboratory present compelling evidence of a yet-to-be discovered planetary body with a mass somewhere between that of Mars and Earth. The mysterious mass the authors show has given away its presence, for now only by controlling the orbital planes of a population of space rocks known as the Kuiper Belt objects, or KBOs, in the icy outskirts of the solar system. Wow, what a good use of words. Colorful, I might add. Then it goes into talking about what the Kuiper Belt is. Debris left over from the formation of the solar system, that orbits the sun and blah, 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 blah. Fact of the matter is, it's all math. They want you to believe in a mathematical equation on a chalkboard, and that's the scientific evidence. Not photographs, not images, not pure deep science, but a mathematical equation on a chalkboard proves nothing. It proves nothing. What is happening on this planet right now proves everything. The naysayers, listen, all they have are the same damn excuses every single day in the comment section of my videos, and nobody pays attention to it. They use the word lens flare, reflection, refraction, fearmonger, liar, criminal. That's all they got. That's all that's in their handbook. But yet, they don't come up with any scientific evidence. Nothing. Zero. I warn you people all the time. Don't converse with these idiots in the comment section. Just slap them around, tell them to shut the hell up, and move on. I'm not believing this story, ladies and gentlemen, as it's being placed out there to us. Because once again, it is an attempt to spread disinformation and give a reason why things might be happening. But the fact of the matter is, the powers that be, the world governments, well, most of them, they know what the hell's happening. They know it. Yes, we'll probably survive. The Earth may be a different place than it was when you woke up the day before. But I'm pretty sure probably a lot of us are going to be here. But I'll tell you this much. If we keep seeing impacts like we saw a few days ago on our magnetosphere, we're in a lot of trouble. That's not my personal opinion. That's a scientific fact. Let somebody try to disprove that. Look it up yourself. Without the magnetosphere, the planet you live on right now, you don't exist. You're dead. You're gone. You, your family, your children, your dog, your cat, your bird, your fish, your plants, your garden, every living thing on this planet dies. I hate to be that blunt with you, but I think it's time for everybody to come into this with their freaking eyes wide the hell open. When a video goes up on my channel, get over there and watch it. Get over there and watch it. Share it with your friends and your family members. Start invoking the conversation the best that you can. And I know the majority of you do just that. And I'll tell you this much, you know, I'm very, very, very proud to be part of all of this. Even though it's just a bad subject. But so many of you already have touched my life over the course of this last year. I've made a lot of friends. You know, I mean, I don't know 99% of you, but I can truly sit here today and say, as a human being, I love each and every one of you. And I don't want to see anything bad happen to any of us, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact of the matter is, the possibility is there, and it's great, and it's growing each and every day. And the only thing that we have is the power of information and the power of knowledge. And you've all heard me say that before. Knowledge is power. Somebody cannot take that away from you. And I know you're not here for me to just entertain you every day. You're here because you're seeking the knowledge, and you have joined a team, a family of people around the world from different countries, different religions, different cultures, all coming together to try to find out the truth and help each other. And that's what it's all about. So I hope to God that all of you listening to me right now, I hope my voice and the passion in this voice has now sparked something in you that was greater before you came and clicked on this live stream and started watching it. I hope your emotions now are running wild. And I hope there's a part of you deep down inside that's mad as hell that this is happening. And that you refuse to stop the search for the information and the knowledge. And don't let anybody step in your way. And when reports like this come out, we're going to tear them apart. We're going to tear them apart because we know what the hell is happening in our solar system. We know what's happening to our planet. You know, the doctor has spent several days working on a fantastic report about Carlos Munoz Fada. Just this past winter, I had that fake amateur astronomer over there, Astronomy Live, tell me that Carlos Fada was a fake. He didn't know what he was talking about. He was a fraud. Listen, boy, the only fraud out there is you, Astronomy Live, and you are the one who is a fraud, 100%. You and that idiot cohort of yours, Dazza the cameraman. You and your stupid videos. You prove absolutely nothing. You are a detriment to humanity. You give nothing back. You will be responsible for taking lives, not saving lives. And to me, I consider you a puke. The fact of the matter is, each and every one of you, you know what is happening. You know it. And all of us together will continue each and every day to seek the truth. We may not be right all of the time, but our hearts are in the right place. That much is true. Sometime tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be getting together with our physicist, and she's going to be presenting her complete article on Carlos Munoz Fada and all of his research. And that man saved tens of thousands of people with his earthquake predictions. He was a very intelligent man. I think that he should be mentioned in the same lines as Albert Einstein. But yet, the little backyard amateur astronomer who doesn't have any education in astronomy says that this guy's a fake. Yeah, okay, whatever you say. Nobody's listening to you anyways. Go back to making your own your fake NASA videos. That's why they refer to you as the NASA fanboy. There will be plenty more disinformation, ladies and gentlemen. There will be plenty more coming out. You can guarantee that. I truly believe that this story coming out of the University of Arizona, I mean, it's already proven to me. It's I don't want to call it fake. You know, the possibilities of this research being done, yeah, it's pretty high. They did issue an abstract. It was published. It's full of math. The doctor has downloaded it, and she is going through it. But once again, in their own statements, I'll read it again. Arizona's Lunar and Planetary Laboratory presents compelling evidence of a yet-to-be discovered planetary body with a mass somewhere between that of Mars and Earth. So just think about it. Do you think something like another planet the size of or the mass of Mars or Earth can literally warp the outer solar system or warp other objects in the Kuiper Belt? That would have to be a really, really strong object with a massive magnetic field. Strong. Very strong. Name that object planet Superman, you know? Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. I hope all of this sinks in, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it all sinks in. We're all a team. We all need to stick together. That's the bottom line. Don't ever think for a split second that your government, wherever you live, is going to be there to protect you. All of you here in the United States, hey, you may end up in a FEMA camp. They may end up injecting that damn chip into you at one point in time. You may become a zombie. Why do you think there's so many shows on television and so many movies about the zombie apocalypse? They want to control you. We don't want to be controlled. Human beings are free creatures. I don't like what I'm seeing here today, because to me, I sniff out more disinformation, trying to push us in another direction, trying to guide us away from what's really happening out there. Don't be fooled, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be fooled. I know each and every one of you is strong, smart, intelligent, and you've got to get up and go to stand up for yourself, because you know why? You know why? And you know how I know that? Because you're right here on my channel. You're not on some little play school channel out there on YouTube. You're right where the information gets good. We do our best. I do my best. The doctor does her best. She gave up her career for this. Do you think that lady gave up a 17-year career of lecturing to play on YouTube? To play make-believe? Yeah, I don't think that for a minute. She's going to continue to make discoveries and help explain the scientific edge to all of this. I applaud her. I appreciate everything that she does for all of us. You know, at some point in time in all of our lives, we've given up something. We all have. We've had loss in our lives. But this doctor, she's had a lot of loss in her life. A lot of emotional times that would break anybody down. Break them down. She's very modest. But I'll tell you this much, man. She's a fighter. She is a fighter. May not seem like it because, you know, she's got that little accent and that meek voice. Don't discount her. She stands up and she will fight to the end. We've already made that commitment. I think all of you listening here today that come to this channel on a daily basis, I think you've all made that commitment also. You guys are fantastic, and you're all a big help, a very, very big help. There has been so much information pouring into the Planet X News channel and the Nibiru channel. There has been so much information pouring in. It's absolutely overwhelming for me. But I don't want any of you to stop. Just bear with me. I may not be able to answer each and every one of your emails personally, but I look at every one of them. You know, I only get about 4 or 5 hours of sleep at some point in a 24-hour day. I didn't even realize today was Friday. Once again. But who cares? We are all developing a warrior mentality. Not by choice. Not by choice. We're being forced into it. We should be all enjoying life on this beautiful planet that God gave us. Maybe this is God's way of washing all the scum off this earth again. Maybe giving us another fresh start. If it has to be that way, it has to be that way. But I know that I can go to my grave and take my last breath and say that I gave it everything I had and I fought to the end. And I will fight to the end. All of you pretty much know my personality. You all know my mentality. I don't give up. I'm not a pushover. You're not going to step up to me and push me around. Because if you do, well, you know, I'm going to fight back. And I believe each and every one of you, you're the same way. You're not going to let anybody push you around. We're all fighters. I appreciate every single one of you joining me here as a team. Not a subscriber, not a viewer. We're all the same. We're searching for knowledge. We're searching for the truth. We all want to live. Shit, I wanted to enjoy my retirement, man, you know? I talk about it all the time. I wanted to go out, I wanted to buy me a brand new, you know, convertible Mustang GT, you know, go through my midlife crisis. I'm going to be turning 50 in 6 months. I have my health, I have my teeth, I have my hair. I'm still good looking. You know, I wanted to enjoy this time. I never thought in a million years that I would be screaming and yelling on YouTube and trying to wake people up. I never thought that I would be waking up every day and taking abuse like I do on a daily basis. Death threats, horrible emails, people infiltrating my family, my personal life, dragging me through the mud, trying to kick me in the nuts on a daily basis. It don't bother me. I'm pretty thick-skinned. armor plated. Say what you have to say, do what you got to do. The fact of the matter is, all of us together, we outnumber them. Don't ever forget that. We, the people, the human race, sometime tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, the physicist will be on a live stream with me. We will be going over the beautiful report about Carlos Fada and the comet Planet, his research, his discoveries. And we're going to see how everything joins in with what we've been discovering. Taking into consideration that, you know, his research was a long time ago, but we believe that his research is pertinent to what we're looking at. I only wonder what he would think if he was still alive today and he was seeing what was happening. The same applies to Dr. Robert Harrington and many, many others who have lost their lives in the search for this truth and this disclosure. Don't think it doesn't happen. I think we've moved far beyond murdering people, you know, to shut them up. They try all of these other avenues now to discredit you, to force you into shutting up by making fun of you, making little videos of Scott in a little ballerina tutu. Doesn't bother me. You can sit there and have your stupid live streams about me and talk about me, my family, and my past and drag me through the mud. I don't care. It doesn't change the evidence that's facing us each and every day. And in all actuality, you're making a fool of yourself. You're making a complete fool of yourself. But again, in closing, I appreciate all of you, every one of you. I don't consider you subscribers to a YouTube channel. I think of each and every one of you as my brother and my sister, fellow human beings, my friends, my associates, my team members. We're all in this together. Just because it's my voice that you're listening to doesn't mean I am more important than you. Because of all of you, we're able to put together all of the observations, all of the videos, all of the photographs, all of the information that each and every one of you gather and pour into me every minute of every day. You guys are kick-ass. But I just wanted to bring this story to you because the minute this information came out, and I read through all of it, and man, the alarms were going off like crazy. And I think we're moving closer and closer and closer to hellacious times. But we're going to have to sit back, and we're going to have to watch and see. But at the same time, we're going to have to protect ourselves. Mother Nature can be very brutal. But I think something's disturbing Mother Nature and really pissing her off. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you stay tuned to the Nibiru channel and Planet X News. Once again, if any of you are not following the Planet X News Facebook page, there's a link in the description box. Get over there, start following the Planet X News Facebook page, It's kind of a lot nicer to, jump onto that page than it is to be abused in the comment section of the videos by the other factions. You can drop me a personal message. You could include short video clips. You could include photographs. You can also post information that you find pertinent to what we're doing. It's a good thing. But all of you, make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to sign off for now. I'm probably going to run a live stream on our 3D earthquake tracker, because things that I've been looking at today with our sun, the solar wind, and these occurrences with the magnetosphere, some of the things that I'm seeing that are going to be coming in, starting late today into tomorrow and for the rest of the month, are going to shake things up. So no matter where you're at on the globe, you may feel it, you may not. But if you don't, just think of your brothers and sisters on the other side of the planet that are feeling it, and pray for them, because they may not make it that day. I think we're going to have an uptick in earthquake activity, and we're definitely going to have some very, very crazy weather coming in all directions. If any of you think that there's information out there that I definitely need to know about, get it to me. Get it to me, and I'll get to it. Once again, I thank each and every one of you. I'm going to sign off now, do some more work and research, and just hope for the best. Hope for the best. Support us. We need it. This is Scott from Planet X News and the Nibiru channel. Thank you for watching this live stream.